What's up, lovely people? It's your girl Karina, aka I of Karina. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm so excited because this is my final video for the Lilith Through the Signs series. And in every single video, I touched on important factors that I feel govern Lilith in each sign, okay? But for every video, including this one, I'm going to do a write-up, so check the description box below. And if you don't see it right away, I'm probably still writing it up. And come back and read the description, because there's always like details that I feel that drop on my head afterwards. And I'm like, I should have put that in there. So check the description. Let's get into this one. This is Lilith in Sagittarius. And this is one of the harder ones to grasp, because Sagittarius is a sign that is very godly, and it's tied to the ideas of teaching. And when we think of Lilith, we actually think of this energy that is hidden within us. It is triggered, it is provoked through a circumstance of which we feel like we don't belong, we feel like an outcast, we feel pushed aside. Because that's the energy of Lilith. The story behind Lilith is that it's a part of us that's forsaken. It's a feminine nature that feels rage, right? But how does femininity take out her rage? Through creating chaos. But with Sagittarius, we're looking at one of the top masculine signs. So this energy is combined with the dark feminine. And the whole concept of masculinity is based off of these tying to the fire, tying to the sun, tying to everything that brings light. And you can't have too much light, right? You can't have too much light. Lilith is all about the dark depths and bringing life. Life is born through the darkness, and Lilith has no light. Okay, so now we're actually dealing with too much light, Sagittarius with no light, right? And now it's like everything that is in the darkness of Lilith is being burnt out. It's like this part of who we know ourselves to be as intuitive is completely gone. And this is why a lot of people who have Lilith in Sagittarius first begin life out, or are in the beginning of their journey with dealing with idolatry, because the intuition is almost gone. It's like when they are pushed out, when they feel like they have been completely cast aside, they lose the nurturing energy of the Divine Mother. They lose the energy of their own power, and they look outside of themselves towards something that is very much so falsified as being God. Okay, so this doesn't necessarily have to be a preacher, a prophet, a guru that they look towards. It could be something as simple as like their favorite celebrity, but they look to them as being something that can guide them, because all inner intuition is lost. And so the struggle of Lilith and Sagittarius is developing the inner intuition by developing a relationship with it and trusting it, okay, and finding within themselves the true spirit of being powerful by being your own person. And this is where a lot of the levels of Lilith are kind of muffled in with Lilith and Sagittarius, because there's levels of pure chaos, and the pure chaotic one is the one who can either follow to the point of losing all of their own sense of who they are. And so they get lost and then are succumbed to situations where they can be taken advantage of. Or they become the ultimate teacher and create a paradigm, a world of thought that many people want to follow them. And through this chaos, they can lead people towards their detriment, right? So this is the chaotic realm. Now, in a more ordered realm, but still weaker, is their victimhood. And they are just simply the victims of superstition, right? They truly can't live without being in some sort of order, but the order is not created by them. It's created by something that's passed down to them about how they should act, or what should they do in this circumstance, or what ritual they should partake in to get rid of this circumstance. And they're completely boggled down by the superstition instead of recognizing the superstition for what it is. And when you are able to do that, then you can truly decide upon yourself if it's something that you want to partake in out of your own will, or are you partaking in it out of fear. And that would be the difference between partaking in a ritual or not, right? That's where the fine line of superstition crosses. And in this weaker point, they are victims to people who may judge them, out of some sort of religious order, that see them as not godly or see them as a sinner, right? And I use sinner in the concepts of Christianity, but it could be in any sort of spiritual paradigm. It could be even in astrology, where the way that they practice astrology could be judged for not being correct. Or it could be like veganism, right? Like a whole idea behind getting closer to God through eating food. Like, this is something that could be made up. And if they don't participate in it the proper way, or if they succumb to eating meats here or there, they're gonna, suffer in the afterlife or something like that. These are these outrageous ideas that they sign themselves up for and then become victims to the paradigm. So now, in the chaos and the weakness, they could also be the type that kills all belief sets, kills all concepts of religious order. And even that could be beneficial or not. So chaos is not about good or bad. It's just bringing life to all possibilities. And that is where you have chaos, right? Because if you bring life to opposite sides, then chaos pursues, right? So the whole concept of religion is brought on the different polarities, and they are both just as strong in Lilith and Sagittarius. You can either be very religious and succumb to all belief sets and superstitions, and you are of not your power, or you can eliminate religion and live a life of fire. And I got Wildfire from the Peace Dealer, because he speaks about Sagittarius being wildfire, and it's very true in my eyes, right? They could live a life of no morals or values, right? And this could also be a situation where we're dealing with the concept of communication and the inability to listen, the inability to take in, right? So the whole concept of feminine is almost burnt out, and it's acted out in an overtly masculine way. And that would be in not being able to listen, only being able to teach, only being able to tell. So the highest form, the form, I've been using highest and in all my videos, but what I really mean is balanced, and using your Lilith to create something that could be valuable, worthy, honorable in this life, is to understand your own impressionability towards needing something outside of you to guide you, right? And then being able to recognize when others are using, especially others of influence, like of over crowds of people, like preachers and prophets and even celebrities, being able to recognize when people are using their influence for their own selfish belief thought and creating a Kool-Aid for everyone to follow, right? And the more that you're able to recognize this in others and see it, then you can start to create a paradigm of your own that is balanced in faith, ritual, but also self-empowerment, and begin to develop your own intuition of what is true or not, right? You start to refine the concept of perspective. And when you have a refined perspective, because you can see all matters, all players in the game, including your own weaknesses, then you are truly on the way of using this divine goddesshood to improve the world on a massive scale. So that is your Lilith in Sagittarius. I hope that this is honorable to you and useful to you. And thank you for participating in my series. And so I'll be continuing on to finish the Lilith in the houses. And be sure to check out the playlist and come back and read the description once I have that all written out for you. Peace and love, and I'll see you guys in the next video.